With the Switch 2 finally here, one of the neatest features, admittedly for the system, has been the backwards compatibility with original Switch games. The same day the system came out, Nintendo updated their Switch 1 compatibility list, and the backwards compatible games list now tops out at well over 15,000 original Switch games. That's a pretty insane number. That all said, there are some games left that are still having some issues. It's a very small list, all things considered, but it does include a few notable games on it. And one of those games that's still having issues is Grid Autosport. The Switch version of Grid Autosport is a fantastic racing game that came out for the original Switch. It has beautiful graphics and excellent racing gameplay. The Switch version is actually a remastered version with lots of gameplay improvements, graphical optimizations, and exclusive Switch features. It's the very best version of the game, and it's available only on the Switch. That's why it's such a shame to see this game having issues when you try to play it on a Switch 2. Right now, if you attempt to launch Grid Autosport on a Switch 2 system, chances are the game will crash when you attempt to play it. That just plain sucks. But what's this? Grid Autosport here playing on a Switch 2 and working as it should? Yes, my friends, guess what? I have some good news. I have found a workaround to the game's crashing issue that will allow you to play Grid Autosport on the Switch 2 without any problems whatsoever. Plus, I got some additional news for those who got one of those fancy new wireless GameCube controllers. Yep, today I'm running a 2-in-1 special for game tips for today. But anyway, enough yapping. Here's what you need to do to get Grid Autosport working on a Switch 2. First of all, when you intend to play Grid Autosport, what you need to do first is turn on airplane mode. To do this, you'll first need to take the system out of its dock if you have the system docked already. With the Switch out of the dock, press and hold the home button for a second or two. This will pop up the quick menu, which is great for enabling and disabling airplane mode. It also has a quick way to adjust brightness of your screen and the volume if you need. See, there's yet another tip for you. Anyway, go ahead and enable airplane mode. Now this will disable all wireless connections, both to your internet and to any wireless controller. Don't worry though, we'll turn off airplane mode in a bit here, so things will go back to normal. We just need to do this to initially get into the game and bypass the launch issue. Once you have airplane mode enabled, go ahead and boot up Grid Autosport. Once you get to the main menu of the game, you are good now. So go ahead and press and hold the home button for a second or two again until the quick menu shows up and turn off airplane mode. Now you can put the game back into the dock and you are good to go to play as normal. I've tested the game, plenty of races, career mode, all that, and I can tell you, the game works absolutely fine, as it should. It seems the issue for the game clearly resides in just starting up the game. So for now, until they patch it, you'll need to do this every time you want to play the game on the Switch 2. A minor annoyance for now, but hey, at least the game works when you get to actually playing it. Now for the other major tip. If you have a GameCube controller, like the official fancy new wireless one that Nintendo is selling, then you actually can use one for this game because it fully supports it natively and the analog triggers it has. Yes, proper analog control racing right here on the system. Just go ahead and connect your GameCube controller as your primary controller, and boom, there you go. It'll default to the GameCube controls. If you use a standard controller, like a Pro controller or Joy-Cons, then the game has you using the right stick to mimic analog controls, and it works absolutely fine. But with a GameCube controller, you can play the game with proper racing controls, and it's my personal favorite way to play the game. For those who want to use a wired GameCube controller, then you can get a GameCube controller adapter that will read the controller as a proper GameCube controller. If you're confused on what to get, I'll have some links down below in the description box for those who want a good, wired solution that works on the Switch 2 without breaking the bank. And there you go, a working solution for Grid Autosport for the Switch 2, plus info about the GameCube controller support. It's all great stuff for a great racing game. Now, playing Grid Autosport on Switch 2 doesn't necessarily improve the game's performance, as it was already a highly optimized game anyway. I mean, the game looks great in quality mode as a highly detailed game operating at a locked 30 FPS. And performance mode does up the frame rate to a locked 60 FPS, and it still looks good too. So you're good no matter what visual mode you choose in the settings. But I can say that loading times have been cut down a bit when playing the game on the Switch 2, so that's nice. Now with all that said, can you do me one little favor? Can you spread the word about this video? I know plenty were bummed out that the game wasn't working on the Switch 2, but I am sure there's some people out there that would love to know a way to play the game currently on the Switch 2 system, as well as about the included GameCube controller support. I do appreciate it if you do put the word out. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and stay tuned for more Switch 2 coverage and tips from this very channel. I'll see you soon on the next video.